Hey everybody, it's Bill again, and you got Bill's Cooking Channel here. I always show everything like two different ways, like how to do the kind of the long version, how to do the fast and ready, how to put a meal together. It's a little bit better, but maybe still using like canned goods and stuff. So I've made a lot of recipes that I use beans and rice, right? So today what I want to do is I want to show you how I'm going to make my beans kind of like the long way. You can do this in the vegan version or not, and I'll show you what the difference is. But it's really good. I used to have a friend that used to eat it all the time, and I never could figure out what the dealio is, what his big love affair with red beans and rice. And I know it's really good for you. You know, beans are always really healthy. But I've always seen it where like people just like heat up a can of beans, and I was like, well, that doesn't have any flavor. It's kind of yucky. So he kind of showed me what he does. Is he adds salsa. I was like, oh, okay, well, at least that's heading in the right direction. So then I took it a step further. I'm like, well, what makes salsa salsa? And I used to make it all the time. So then I kind of evolved and came up with this recipe. So I got a pan here I'm heating up. I'm going to put a couple swirls of olive oil in it. You can use any kind of oil you like. Just always have olive oil out on the counter. And I know I said this before, if you don't use your oil all the time, make sure you smell it, make sure it's not rancid. It will go rancid. That's why I kind of use one oil for everything. And it's always extra virgin, so it's good quality. All right, so we're going to start off with. I got some celery that I chopped up, about a cup. I've got some onion here. I had a white onion. It's a sweet onion, so it's good. And then in the bottom here, this is the Trinity. I was going to use a red pepper, but orange was on sale. So any kind of bell pepper you want. All right, my pot's hot. So what makes this recipe good to me is I've got all these veggies in here. I really think it adds to it. If you're not a fan, you really could cut back the quantity of each and make it more beans. And I will, at the end of the video, I have the recipe. I'll show you the ranges of how much you can put in, because I like it. I like it like this, but maybe you want it to be like all beans. That's just fine. So we're going to let this start to simmer down. So I get asked a lot of times, I use jalapenos. Well, how do you cut a jalapeno? I'm trying to turn this so you can see it. So first thing, this is a nice firm jalapeno. It's actually locally grown. I'm going to just cut the very end off. That's kind of garbage. And then what I want to do is I'm just going to guide it, and I'm going to make some nice thin slices. Well, the reason I'm making thin slices, first of all, is they'll break down really easy. And as you can start to see, we're going to start to see some of the veins. That's the hot stuff. So if you don't want that, obviously you just cut it open and take that out. But I don't have any seeds yet, okay? Seeds are what are kind of the yucky part. So I just want to keep going. Nice paper thin slices. And now I just felt resistance. Well, that resistance means I'm hitting seeds. And what's really funny is you get really used to this, you'll find that if you're slicing thin, the seeds will go flying. I'm not going to cut that far because it's a mess to clean up. I usually do it over on the counter. But it reduces the number of seeds. As you can see now I'm starting to get seeds on the cutting board. That's exactly what happens. And now I'm getting into it's a little bit more of the vein. It's a little tougher. I could cut a few more if I like it, if I want the heat. I'm not trying to kill anybody, so I'm probably going to stop here. And let's throw my jalapenos. And you want to pick these jalapenos up just to make sure you get the seeds out. See, they leave them right behind. It's really easy. So of course with jalapenos, you do want to wash your hands twice if you think about it, 3 times if you're smart. Okay, and let's stir this up and see where we're at. Now you're going to get a lot of liquid, especially from like the celery and the pepper. So we want to make sure we get that kind of gone. Now I've got a couple cloves of minced garlic. Just want to get tossed in here. This is where all the flavor starts. Just want to get all these veggies softened a little bit. Pretty good heat under there, you can hear it sizzling. But I'm still seeing some water. So I just want to get this rolling, and things are starting to soften, I can tell. You know, onion becomes translucent, that's always the best sign. Celery's going to stay firmer, and I've done this before on video. When you cut celery, you want to cut it lengthwise and then cut it crosswise really small, because you want to break down that the strings in there. Remember when you were a kid, you'd put peanut butter on a stalk of celery and bite into your nose. And actually, celery is okay to give to rabbits, but you gotta pull all that string off, so you gotta kind of strip them. All right. So, I want to get this cooked a little more, because really it's not going to cook a whole lot much more once we get it going. So, you need to get some of this liquid out of here. It's going to take about 3 minutes. So we're going to be right back to see you in a minute.
Okay, we're going.
Alright, welcome back. It's been a whole 2 minutes. Things have kind of changed consistency in here. Got most of the fluid's gone, most of the liquid, and everything's nice and tender and soft. And like I was saying, it's because once we get this all together, it's really ready to eat. It's not like soup. It's not going to stew or cook. Alright, so here's where the important step comes in. I like a little dairy, but if you wanted the vegan version, you're going to obviously leave this out. So I've got about 5 tablespoons of butter. And this is just going to make it creamy. When you make refried beans, you know, they just use lard. I've used oil when you initially are cooking all the veggies like this, but then you always put a little butter in to kind of make the refried beans creamy. And for all the effort, I've really decided it's almost not worth it. There's some pretty darn good refried beans on the market, so. Because it's a process. I mean, it's kind of cool and fun. People go, oh, well, you made these? Let's see. All right, so we've added our butter. So I've got a 1/4 cup of white wine. Oh, that's an interesting thought. Well, it's going to bring really some flavor into this. It smells really good. All right, next. Because I do everything up ahead of time, normally if I were making this, I'd just be like shaking the spices in, but people want to know the measurements, so I've been kind of back figuring it. But if I do it up ahead of time, it sits here, and with all the steam and everything, it starts to get a little lumpy and sticks to the bowl. But here's our seasoning. So I got a tablespoon of chili powder. I think chili powder, it's not spicy, it's just going to give some good color and flavor. I got 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. You might want to start off low, and you can always add more because cayenne pepper can be pretty potent. And I got a 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. I think cumin really adds. I like using cumin. I use it in my. I use it like when I make guacamole and stuff. I just think it's great. Okay, look at that. Came out pretty good. Stir around. Like I said, you can range the amount of veggies you want because I like having all that veggie in here. And it really doesn't take away from it, so. Alright, I want to cook this just long enough to make sure we get the wine kind of reduced. We don't want this watery. Oh yeah, beautiful, beautiful. I can already envision it. And of course, once again, like I've said before, I got my little unitasker, my rice cooker. I've already got the rice in here. It's nice and hot and beautiful, so we get this all dished up. All right, I'm a pretty big fan of cilantro, so I chopped up some cilantro. Not too much, just enough. Cilantro is easy to grow. The problem is that it gets old real quick and turns into coriander, kind of flowers up, kind of loses its flavor. And the other thing is, you can obviously leave out if you want the vegan version, but I've got a link of kielbasa that I've cut, quartered, and then sliced it. I like having the protein in here cooking. I think it's just, once again, we're adding lots of flavor. Kielbasa has a lot of garlic in it, a lot of seasoning in it. So this certainly does add to it, but you can certainly do that. And if anytime you're concerned about it being too thin, you just cook it a little longer, and if it's too thick, you can add water, you can add a little stock, veggie or chicken or whatever you want. It's heated through. So now I've got my 15-ounce can of tomato sauce. Low sodium, no salt added, whatever. still nice and toasty. So what do we got left? The beans. I got some red beans. I have 2 cups of red beans. I always rinse my beans. Get that yucky stuff off them that they're canned in. Now, like I said, might not be your way, but this is my way and I think it's really good. See all these veggies, and I'm thinking this is really good. So let me give you a quick dish it up and show you. Let me grab my bowl. Nice and toasty. Stick free, so I use a nylon spoon. That defeats the purpose if you eat more rice than beans. So I just want a couple spoonfuls on the bottom here. Make a nice little layer to absorb some of the juice. Let's see how it looks. Oh, see all those veggies, nice beans, nice good color. Doesn't look great. This is easy. Tastes really good. Really enjoy it. Like I said, you can use less of the veggies if you want. I like the consistency of it. You know, I call it mouthfeel. When you're tasting it, you're getting all that flavor in there. I just think this is better. If you want, you can put a couple spoonfuls of salsa on. I probably would too. Just kind of because everything's nice and hot and give kind of a coolness to it. But certainly, hope you think this is pretty easy and you're going to give it a try. And remember, broken record here. Please subscribe. Please comment. Please ring the notification bell so you get all my great recipes. I've been flying them out left and right recently because I've had some time off. And most of all, enjoy it. Get the family in the kitchen and have some fun. Try some new stuff. Let me know of something that you think I should be trying to make. I want to challenge me. You know, give me something that you don't think I can make in a million years. Now, if it's something I'm not going to eat because I don't like, I probably won't do it. But anything else is fair game. So have a great day.